welcome, one and all, to another live edition of the Extra Point Show. Your host, Mr. P.L. Colter, is in the house and at your service. We have a special show lined up for you today. Of course, moving over to the middle square, playing QB today will be Miss Tasha T Sizzle, our resident correspondent, international player from the Himalayas. How you doing today, T Sizzle?
Is it you, player?
That good, huh?
Life is good.
Life is good on the island. Oh,
very, very good to me.
All right, we're feeling very irate today. And back for his second stint in the hot chair, I am very pleased to announce a very talented young brother, who strips the stereotypes off the youth of today. We're very, very honored to have him back on. He is a writer for the Dallas Express, writes sports for the publication. He is also a Boomer Sooner. His name is Mr. Brandon Lewis. How goes it today, Mr. Brandon?
Going good. Glad to be on the show with you and Tasha today. You know, the first time it was just me and you, so this be interesting.
Oh yeah, now you got to face the gauntlet. We have Tasha T Sizzle in the house. He did a great job last time. I am very, very fired up to have you back on today. Now, as all of you know who's watched the show, we could not do this without our great sponsor. And T Sizzle, take it away.
It is product placement. May Jane's Coffee. That's MAEJANE coffee. You can get your Colombian, your Honduran, and your Brazilian blend coffee, all freshly ground by my daughter. On Facebook now, she is Denise, but her name is Sasha. You can actually get the coffee bean and grind the coffee yourself. And she is having a sale now. The Colombian, which is her most popular blend of coffee, is on sale for $15. And she's sending out today. So, Brandon, next show, we're going to need you to have product placed, sir.
All right. I have to do that. Hey, I love supporting, businesses and stuff like that, especially people that I know. So, hey, I'm all for it.
All right.
Yes.
And shouts out to Michigan Mike checking in. He says, "What's up, Brandon? We're going to get to it today." Oh, and make sure you use promo code EXTRA1 to get your discount on your May Jane's coffee. That's XTRA and the number 1. And to get that discount, please. I use it. I get my discount. I'm getting my sip on today because we got a lot to get to. And
please,
so let's get right to it. Now,
please support, because I'm trying to keep my daughter off the pole. So please. Hey, I mean, and, she lives in Tampa. That is the strip club capital of the United States. More strip clubs per capita than any other state in the union. So please help keep a kid off the pole.
Now, Brandon, we're off and running.
Yes, we are. She already got it going hot.
So as
like this May Jane's coffee.
The man playing flank receiver today, Mr. Brandon, you are a noted Boomer Sooner. We see how you're decked down, repping your school. So yes, we're going to get you started the way we do here at the Extra Point, on the hot seat. Let's turn that seat up a little bit before we get to the nitty and the gritty. We're going to introduce you to today's audience with a simple game called Keep One, Stash One, Trash One. And we're going to do this with an Oklahoma flair since you're so notable and so knowledgeable about all things Oklahoma sports. Let me give you 3 athletes. You can keep one, you can stash one for emergency, and you got to throw one in the trash. All right?
Let's go.
Here we go. All right, up first, Mr. C.D. Lamb. Up next, Mr. Collar Murray. And last but not least, Mr. Trey Bow to the Garden Young.
Oh, God. You started hot.
Come on now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey.
Man.
You keep one, you can stash one, but you got to throw one in the trash. Brandon, who you going with?
Ooh, okay. I will have to say keep Colin Murray because he's Mr. Do-It-All.
Okay.
Guy is, talented. He played baseball. He played football, of course. He ran track, so I'll say keep him. I'm probably going to have to say stash C.D. Lamb. The man is a beast.
Okay.
And I'm going to have to throw away Trey Young. Sorry, man.
What? Keeping it real.
in Oklahoma City now, kicking his screen because he hooped at OU, and he's not going to be very happy with your selection. I'm telling you now. Shouts out to Chuck Watson, number 40, when he played at Oklahoma.
Now, with how well Oklahoma did in basketball last year, I figured I'd throw that in there, but I had no clue that he would be the one that would hit the trash can lid. Do you yell Kobe when you throw him in there?
No, I mean, you hit me with that on the first one, man. Like, so, hey, I just went by, they all got talent, don't get me wrong, but I'm sorry, Kyler Murray is Mr. Do-It-all.
He is.
CeeDee Lamb is just amazing. He's about to take over. He's about to be receiver one now.
Oh, yeah.
Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
So, I have to
okay. Now that we're back on the football with CeeDee Lamb, what do you think as an OU student about OU and Texas making the leap to the big leagues, to the SEC?
Well, honestly, I'm just going to be plain and simple and just real. I think it's revenue. I think they should have stayed in the Big 12, in my opinion. Because now, when they made that move, now we're at the point where, we're doing all these super conferences now. You know how we went from super teams? Now we're doing super conferences. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now you're going to have like 5 teams in the top 5 in the SEC now, I mean, of course, like when it comes down to the national championship and everything, those will break, with conference championship and stuff. But I think they should have stayed in the Big 12, in my opinion. So
do you think this would be, let's see, a good reason for them to say, okay, let's expand the playoffs? Because if you have all the top schools in one conference, let's say you have one ACC representative, which could be Clemson. You have one from the Big 10, and then the other 2 from 2 to 10 is SEC. Do you think that, this is a good argument for them to go ahead and expand it?
Yes, I think so, because right now you have 2 SEC teams in the top 2 right now. You have Alabama and Georgia. So, I mean, if we're already starting off like that, that means they need to reconsider that. They need to go back to the drawing board and say, hey, is this the time? Because when Texas and OU made that announcement, it sent shockwaves all over.
Yes.
Not just college sports, pro sports, international, whatever you want to call it. Because now we're like, oh, wow, Texas and OU are like feeling some type of way of being in the Big 12. OU has played, for the national championship, countless of years, but they could not make it to the national championship. So I don't know if they may be thinking like, hey, we can't make it to the national championship, in the Big 12. Why not go play with the big dogs in the SEC?
But that's their fault as well, because they refuse to have a championship game. Mike is chiming in. I wrote this to Mike the other day. Their lack of not having a championship game is what is killing them. If they would just have a Big 12 championship game, it would be no doubt that the Big 12 would be represented in that Final Four every year. I mean, they have the last couple of years because
they just now started doing that.
But they did it. Why? Because they realized they were getting left out.
And yes, you're right.
Now, Michael Hasso chimes in and says they left because they were losing their recruits to the other conferences. No one wants to play in the Big 12 anymore. To that, you say what?
That's true. I agree. I mean, who wouldn't want to go to? Okay, if I'm a high school student, recruit, top, I'm a 5-star, right? And my dream is to play in the NFL. I'm going to go where I can get in the NFL, And it's not just the program you go to that gets you in the NFL. It's the conferences, too. The SEC, you see Alabama producing like 12 people in the first round every year, pretty much.
Did you say Alabama?
Yes, I said Alabama.
Go, Alabama, go,
Alabama boys.
Alabama,
one King Henry.
I can give you 2 examples of locals from the Fort Worth area. We have a freshman receiver by the name of JoJo Earl from Alito High School. He was going to LSU at first, but with everything happening with LSU, and they won a national championship, and then they fell off. So he took his talents to Alabama. Now, before that, we have somebody that was in my backyard, Jason Massellin, who's also from Alito High School, who was all for OU. He made that switch and went to Bama, and look, freshman year won a national championship. Now, who wouldn't want to do something like that?
T Sizzle, I think he's ready.
We ready.
Come on.
We ready.
Come on, hey, I told y'all this kid was the truth. Now before we get you back on the hot seat, let everybody know kind of what you do for the Dallas Express. For those who didn't see the last show.
I'm a sports columnist, so here recently, last weekend, PL Colter and T Sizzle, they talked about them boys, them Dallas Cowboys, and the Big D. I did an article on them, so I did the keys of the games. And
I read that. Good stuff.
I'm just gonna put out there right now, I am not a Cowboys fan. But when you're in the sports world, you have to be open. So I'm all about dropping knowledge for people who don't know anything about sports. So I'm all about helping them learn and actually feel like they're actually in the game. So that's what it was all about. But my keys of the game was on point. It was on point. You had to neutralize Tom Brady. He still went off regardless, but he
did have turnovers.
Yes, if you get turnovers against TB12, that's something.
They should have won that game.
TB12 is TB 96 years old now. So
yes, I agree. But if I was the Cowboys, we got to get rid of Greg Zuerlein. He is not Greg Zuerlein with the Rams. I understand.
So he's not Legatron anymore?
No, sir. No, sir. He had back surgery. Why are you trying to work the man in key situations of the game? Why would you do that? So I feel like the coaching brought that on themselves.
Okay, now we're going to get back into the NFL here in just a moment. But while we're in the college realm, I wanted to talk to you all about the University of Southern California. Now, last Saturday, they were ranked number 14 in the country. This Saturday, they're looking for a head coach. When Clay Helton got fired after an embarrassing loss to Stanford, I didn't think it was a fireable offense. They've been losing to Stanford off and on for the last decade. I digress on that. But it did get my wheels to turning. There's a guy down there in Jacksonville, one Mr. Urban Myer.
Duval.
Who we've always suspected would want to get back into college football at a very high level. Not with your Ball State, not with your Boise States, but with a powerhouse program, a visible program like a USC. My question to my esteemed panel today, if you are a friend or family member of one Mr. Urban Myer, would you tell him to go take that USC job and dip on Jacksonville?
Nope.
No.
Nope. I wouldn't want to go there. My thing is, if you look at a job, I'm all about, consistency. They always looking for a new coach every time you look up. You know what I mean?
USC.
Because they got Kiffin right off the bus. Come here, bro. Let me holler at you. They didn't even let you get on the bus.
Yeah, the track record, to me, they haven't had a good coach, in my opinion, since Pete Carroll. Now, I'm only 25, so I can only speak for how long I've been here.
Wait a minute, you only what?
I'm only 25.
Tasha, where's our cane?
Remember all the time I thought these were glasses. I got cataracts.
Remember them days? Ooh, 25. Oh, enjoy it, my brother. Enjoy it. I'm sorry, continue. That just kind of shook my spirit.
My thing is, why would I want to go somewhere and every time you look up, they're looking for a new head coach every 5 years?
But if you're Urban Myer, you're a legend in the business, and USC is a legendary place. You would think that he would be able to keep the California kids in California. Let's juxtapose that to what we see in Jacksonville, T Sizzle. Jacksonville has the number 1 overall pick. He looks miserable already. They couldn't beat the Deshaun Watson-less Houston Texans last week. Gave up 37 to what's his name? Punctured lung. They gave up 37 to punctured lung.
Cut! Pour the plug!
Like my boy was on the sideline looking like,
dang, did I really lose? Did I really leave the being on the broadcast?
Ohio State sideline. You can say it. Right.
You know what I mean? To being here.
Now, Mike says that it's actually a hot seat to be at USC. So no love for USC. Tasha, you say what?
But no, the thing is, with somebody like Urban Myer, who knows how to maneuver and trick and lie to get what he needs, this could be a great place for him. He has no business coaching in the NFL because it's not just like Saban when he went, left LSU and then he went to Miami. Some coaches are not made to be in the NFL.
Hello.
Urban Meyer, Nick Saban, they are college coaches. And I think they would give Urban a longer leash because of who he is.
Yes. And I think that people would want to come play for him at USC. My thing with Jacksonville, he can't pull the strings like he could.
No.
Ever since he set foot in Jacksonville, he's been getting slapped on the wrist by the NFL. No, you can't hire that strength and conditioning coach from Iowa. No, you can't get on TV and say that you cut a player because he wasn't vaccinated. No,
slapped on the wrist. They've been punching him right in his chest. Like,
yeah, he can't do that. Look, he came in knocked out.
Right.
The Mike says Urban was just saying how he likes he doesn't have to worry about grades or do checkups. Now, Mike, you know them kids up in Columbus ain't going to school. You're being far too kind. You're being far too kind. So your official vote is no, right, Brandon?
Yes, I'm still sticking with no. Yes, that's what I'm still sticking with.
How many wins is Jacksonville going to get this year? I'm just curious. What do you think?
They're not going to be over 5. I say 4 at the most.
You got 3? I'm going to go with 2 because they beat the Titans once a year. So that's one of them. We'll get into them a little bit later. They got on my nerves last week. Now, speaking of getting on my nerves, I'm going to need y'all to help talk me off the ledge with this because I have a conspiracy theory brewing in my spirit. Now, we all saw Aaron Rodgers, Rodgers, as I like to call him.
Bella says hi.
Is that Bella?
That's Bella. Mommy's working. Mommy's working.
We're a dog-friendly show here. We love dogs.
Come on, sit down, girl.
Right. She want to talk about Urban Meyer. She's like, no, bro.
She said, I wear my Michigan bandana on game day. I don't want to hear anything about him.
Right. She's going to unplug your headset. Now, Aaron Rodgers spent all season whining, complaining, being passive-aggressive. Am I going to retire? Am I going to host Jeopardy? I got a man bun. I look 137 years old when they fought. I'm going through a midlife crisis. I'm mad they took Jordan Love, although that would seem like a decade ago. They won't let me keep Randall Cobb. Like, he was just crying and whining the whole offseason. Showed up right before the season, had one of the worst games of his professional career last Sunday in Jacksonville, speaking of Jacksonville, when the Saints came marching in and put them dogs on him. He goes to the post-game press conference, takes no accountability for his bad play, and completely throws his coach under the bus, saying it was a bad game plan. Now, I'm going to ask you this. Do you think there's any correlation between his unhappiness in being with the Green Bay Packers and that awful game? I smell sabotage. To that, you say what?
That game, I'm sorry, go ahead, Brandon. You go ahead.
All right. I think it's time to move on. You know what I mean? Because did you see the guy in the post-game conference? He looked sick. I saw a meme the other day where they had Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. And Tom Brady's older than Aaron Rodgers. But the man looked old. Like, he's stressed.
That's stress. That's stress on his face.
Yes.
That's stress.
Yes.
So, T Sizzle, what do you think? Should Green Bay just go ahead and pull the plug on this whole Aaron Rodgers thing this year?
Let me tell you something. That game was as bad as that suit he wore on draft night. And as bad as that man bun with the Beijing for white men that he has in his hair, because we all know you got some gray hairs. You put that playmaker Michael Irvin shoe polish in your hair.
Well, he has a wig fro. He got a wig fro. That ain't Beijing. He got a whole piece.
It's time for Aaron Rodgers to just call it a career because they look so bad. Number one, it's your fault. It's not the game calling. It's not the plays that were called because you were not in camp to get that rhythm with your receivers and get the familiarity, your line to get familiar with you. It's your fault. And if you don't want to, and I said this to you, if you don't want to be there, he needs to leave. Just leave. Right. So you're going to sabotage the whole franchise.
Right.
Because you mad?
Sabotage is the coming to mind. Now, the whole offseason had General Manager Dave Gettleman looking like Tony Braxton Talking about 7 whole days and not a word from you.
7 whole days.
Right. And you just show up at midnight. Right. Didn't he show up like on the eve of training camp? And then he come out here and lay this. I think that he knows that he's out of there. They didn't give him an extension. He couldn't pull a Brady and get his backup shipped off to the West Coast like Brady got Garoppolo shipped off when he was getting in his twilight years. Brady went to another place, called his own shots, won a Super Bowl, and now we just seeing Aaron Rodgers trying to do the same thing, but it's not happening. To Brandon, how many more weeks would you give Green Bay of losing before you pull the plug, or would you just let this thing just blow up?
I'll try 1 week. If he can't beat the Detroit Lions, he got to go.
Now, Michael says he's looking like Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. Mike, put down your matrix.
Waiting for LaFonda on the bus.
Yes, if they can't beat the Detroit Lions, he got to go.
He might even beat Detroit, but I got my eye on that situation.
But it's funny because remember when they drafted him and he had to play behind Brett Favre, he was talking all this humble. He was mad because Brett wouldn't teach him anything. I'm supposed to be learning from Brett Favre, but you're doing the exact same thing to Jordan Love.
Right.
You're doing the exact same thing. You can't. I mean, that's one thing. If these older quarterbacks, why are you guys trying to keep these younger guys from learning and from getting their opportunity the same way that you received your opportunity? That's the same with what's his name? I almost cursed. I forgot. We're not supposed to curse on in Chicago.
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton. And yeah, they told Andy you're going to be the starter. But I don't think they knew Justin Fields was going to produce the way that he can.
Right. He was more of a project.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Andy Dalton, you need to move on. Aaron Rodgers, you need to move on. I mean, it's going to
2 words for y'all. 2 words. What? Self-centered.
Okay. Now, shouts out to David Hernandez checking in, and he says Andy is the GOAT. That's why y'all ran him out of Dallas, huh, David? We'll talk about that later, David. But if you're self-centered at the quarterback position, then you basically are the that one little piece of burnt macaroni and cheese at the bottom of the pan. As soon as you stir that pan, the whole pan burned. So you can't have a self-centered person at that position because, Brandon, you know football. You understand that there's 53 other guys on that roster, all of them playing for jobs. Not all of them have long-term contracts. Some of them want to win now. This could be some of them last leg there. And you got a quarterback that half cares. He has a horrible game, and he goes on the Pat McAfee show and just kind of downplays it. All the coach said it was embarrassing. No, that's his words. Oh, it was just one game. And another thing that bothered me about that, in the offseason, everything was I needed a break. I needed to want to go host Jeopardy. I needed to feel like I was validated. I needed to have my opinions heard by the organization. But then in that post-game press conference, it was, we didn't execute. We didn't do well. Who was we? That was we in the offseason.
When you start speaking French.
Right? So you
know what say?
That tell me he need to go and go join, get on the tennis court, the golf course, since he wants to be about I.
Right. If you want to be about I, go ahead and be a celebrity boxer.
Right.
You get your bell rung.
Right.
Now, I do think that they will, pull it together against Detroit because, again, like you said, self-centered. I get the whole stage to myself on Monday night. Let me go out here and play my best so I can do this to the Green Bay Packers again and continue to be passive-aggressive. And right. He's throwing them games because he's trying to get out. Somebody help him out of there. I agree with you totally, David. He's throwing them games.
Also wants to look like the savior if they turn it around. He's going to want all that credit.
Now, shouts out to the big homie, the friend of the show, Langston Moore. He says, is he worth 1 Super Bowl, 4 NFC championship losses? You stuck the panel on that one, Langston.
I mean, I heard crickets.
You stuck us on that one, big bro. That Super Bowl was so long ago. I think Brandon was still in Pampers, wasn't he?
Nah, that was freshman year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Freshman year of high school.
That's what I was gonna say. It was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was right here in Dallas, in the Snow Bowl, where nobody could get to their seats in AT&T Stadium. But that's another story for another day. As we do regularly here on the Extra Point, we are about to play a game of Hang in There or Have a Seat. Now, here's today's topic, and you can feel free to play along in the comments as well. There's two things that we know that are true about the NFL. One is that the parity is what makes it so interesting. Every year, there's at least 3 or 4 new teams that make the playoffs that didn't make it the year before. That's one of the things that we love about it. If your team is down, unless you're Jacksonville, and even they were in the AFC Championship game in 2017, just hang in there. Your team will cycle back around and at least be competitive. There's also, we know that teams to start 0-2, they have a rough road to go to be a playoff team. Now, with that as the backdrop, there were eight teams that made the playoffs last year that got blown out last week in the NFL. 8 teams. I'm going to go through these 8 teams with my esteemed panel, and you tell me if they go 0-2, is their season done? Should they hang in there or should they have a seat because they're done, all right? All right, first up, Green Bay. The Packers of Green Bay. Now, if they lose on Monday night to the Detroit Lions, are they done? Stop it, Langston. Stop it, Langston. Okay, starting with you, T Sizzle. Now David says Green Bay is done if they lose Monday night. What say you, Tasha?
I'm going to say hang in there for Green Bay simply because I really don't think that Aaron is going to go out like that. Even though he's disgruntled, nobody, and he is showing that he is a diva. Nobody wants that, what do you say, that blight on their resume. That, because he knows, he knows inside what he did not do this offseason. And he's going to get the criticism if they don't produce. Now, I'm not saying they're going to just turn around and just have this outstanding season, but I still think they can hang in there because they're still a viable team regardless.
Okay, so we have a hang in there. We have a have a seat. Michael says Green Bay have a seat if you lose Monday. Brandon, you get the last word.
I agree with Tasha. They need to hang in there because, just looking at the division, they're still kind of trying to play who's going to be, at the top or whatever. The Vikings, they're still iffy to me. Bears.
They lost to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Right. In overtime.
Yeah, so.
To a quarterback whose knee was just bared.
Yeah. It was like that last year.
Yeah. So, I think they should hang in there. It's not over. Just looking at the division, totally. It's just one of those divisions. They're still trying to see what they're going to do,
Everybody lost in the division last week. So 0-2, they could probably chase down the game. That was a good one. That was split right down the middle. Langston says they have a veteran team, which they do. And so they should be able to overcome that hump. Next up, the Cleveland Browns. They played a tough game in Kansas City last week, but they are in a tough division with Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. If they go to 0-2 this week, that means they lost to the Houston Texans. Are they done if they go 0-2 for their playoff chances? What do you say, T Sizzle?
Well, they also don't have OBJ. He was out last week, and I think they're holding him out this week. They had a receiver in there. I didn't even know his name when I watched the highlights. I was like, who is that?
Right, who was the best one?
Right, well, yeah, though. Yes, because they're hungry. When they get their opportunity, guess what? They flourish and they shine. So, with Cleveland, because Pittsburgh kind of struggled a little bit to get that victory.
But they went into Baltimore. Into Buffalo though. They won a tough game at Buffalo.
But I'm not really sold on Buffalo. I told you that last week. They kind of win by default. I kind of want to get an edge to Miami in that division.
That's true. You did say that.
So I'm going to say Cleveland needs to. Who do they play?
They play Houston this week. If they lose to Houston and go to 0-2, are they done?
No, I'm telling them to hang in there.
What about you, Brandon?
I say Cleveland hang in there because, the thing about it is, come on, look at the Steelers last year. They had one of the best teams, and they crumbled.
So did they crumble?
They crumbled
like a moist pound cake.
Yes. So I think they still have a chance. They still have a chance. They still have a chance. And like David says, you know, Cleveland has defense. You saw Jadeveon Clowney. That man was
finally looking like a #1 overall pick.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that dude was coming off the line quick.
Well, you got 2 #1 picks in Myles Garrett and Jadeveon coming off the edge. Did you see how they met at Patrick Mahomes late in that game last week? Almost tore that man's ribs loose. I agree with the peanut gallery. I think that with their run game, and she Tasha's right. Odell Beckham will be back eventually. They do have weapons. And Baker Mayfield, just don't throw an interception. Your team gonna win way more than they lose. I think they stay in it. Now, Langston says 3 teams will come from the AFC North. I agree with that. I like Pittsburgh, I like Baltimore, and I like Cleveland. Najee Harris is a man. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts. Now, they made the wild card last year at 11-5, tied with the Tennessee Titans. They lost in Seattle, well, at home to Seattle. They go to LA to play the Rams this week. If they go 0-2 with Carson Wentz, are they done?
Even though I picked them to win the division, that's the only reason why I'm not going to say they're done. Because if the rest of the division follows suit and it's as terrible as they are, but they win out, David said, "Sit down."
All caps.
Because I want to always bet on the Titans, but they always let me down. So
man, you see, I don't have on no Titans gear today because I ain't ready yet. I need 24 more hours.
But see, and I can't waffle on my decision on my pick because I picked them to win the division. So I'm going to have to tell them to hang in there because that's the decision. That's the option I chose.
All right, so we got to hang in there and a sit down. Break the top for us, Mr. Brandon Lewis.
Well, quarterback. That's the thing. I think they were better off with Phillip Rivers. Carson Wentz is, I don't like him. Like, I'm sorry.
Carson Wentz is garbage. She is basura. Él es basura.
He's horrible. And I'm sorry, the Texans are looking pretty good right now.
Hey, old Punctured Lung was hurling that thing around last week.
Yes.
Tyrod Taylor said.
But Tyrod Taylor is no punk. Like, the dude has been through so much.
Yeah.
He has.
Back to the Super Bowl. I mean, not the Super Bowl, sorry, the playoffs.
He has.
I mean, and that's a chance with the Browns.
I mean, it was a bad break that he lost his job because the team physician almost killed him. You know, that was just bad luck.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to have to agree with Langston with my take on this. The fact that Tennessee looked equally porous last week, that gives them an opportunity to hang in there because they have a tough game in Seattle. Hell, they could be 0-2 right along with Indianapolis, and we could turn this into the NFC East where a 7-win team wins the division. Mm-hmm. So for that, I'll say hang in there. Henry with 9 yards. David, you better hope this league goes off tomorrow. Messing up everybody's fantasy team. Mike says no, he's not sold on their defense. I agree with Langston on that. I say hang in there, Indy. Chicago. They made the playoffs last year. Went out to to the Rams in Los Angeles and lost. With Green Bay in their division, can they afford to go 0-2, knowing that Green Bay has Detroit on Monday night?
If they don't change quarterbacks, I'm going to tell them to sit down.
That's my answer. What you say, Brandon? That's my answer.
I say sit down as well, but my thing is I think they need to go on and get a new coach too at that.
You done with Nagy?
Yes.
I'm not sold on Matt Nagy. He haven't did anything. That's kind of going back to the conversation about how some coaches are just college coaches.
Yeah.
And they're not able to be college and NFL coaches. Well, Matt Nagy needs to stay as like a coordinator or assistant coach.
Yes.
Because he is not a head coach.
I said that last year.
Can the same be said for Eric Bieniemy?
I like Eric. They haven't gave the man a chance. I think we should give him a chance at least.
Right.
I mean, because they've given
him a chance.
They've given lesser coaches chances, and I don't think he wants college. I think he wants NFL.
Yeah.
I would say in a sidebar, hang in there, have a seat. Hang in there, Eric Bieniemy. Wait for a pro job. Don't go to college, and because we don't last too long in them college jobs if you don't produce right away. You might have a little more favor in the NFL, with your coordinator. Okay, I digress.
And see, I'm kind of partial to him too because his nephew played basketball at OU.
Now, see, this is what if you need anything OU, you need to follow this man right here. This man,
okay, Boomer.
He's taking it all the way.
Like what the shirt says.
Boomer Sooner. I totally agree with Hernandez. We're gonna all follow Tasha's lead on this one. If they make the switch to to Justin Fields, they'll be just fine. Washington is 0-2. In the most heartbreaking fact. No, they're not. They're 1-1. We're gonna keep going.
They won.
They won.
They won.
They should have lost. Let me just start. Okay, they should have lost. Buffalo. Now, Tasha, you said earlier that you're not sold on Buffalo. If they lose again this week to Miami, are they done?
Oh, they're done because that's a division game. I mean, they do have an opportunity later on in the year to come up and square it up, make everything even. But remember, I was vacillating back and forth between Buffalo and Miami because I just liked what Miami did last year, and I think they can get Buffalo. So if they lose, I'm gonna tell Buffalo to have a seat.
Oh wow, early. Then Langston, be nice. This is our guest. You don't know no goonery today.
Their defense look way better, dude. I don't know what OU you watching. They look way better now. Tulane, that's a different story. Last week they had to put the beating on because they got embarrassed by Tulane. But
okay, come on,
way better.
Come on, my young Padawan.
Yeah, their defense look way better.
Equal opportunity. He got my Titans too. He does it all in good fun. Now David says Buffalo will be good. Their division is easy. You really think so? New England, Miami. I like both of those teams. Here you go, Tulane. He's like Tulane, my brother. What do you think, Brandon? Buffalo 4-2. They got a chance.
Hard. You know, that's my favorite team is in that division.
I forgot. Will you tell everybody who your team is? I forgot about that.
I'm a New England Patriots fan. But the thing about it is, like I tell people, about the Patriots, we're at that time where it's time to rebuild. You know what I mean? So people's like, you're not mad? Why would I be mad? Every team have their struggles. I mean, if they weren't like a team, they would be perfect. You know what I mean? But like David said, it's a division of rookie and sophomore quarterbacks. That's interesting to me. I love
That's a great point, David. That's a great point. That's a great point. You didn't wake and bake this morning, huh?
But like Tasha says, if they don't wake up against Miami, yeah, they're going to play catch-up.
And don't sleep on the Dolphins. I like what they're building down there. They're not a flashy team, but they are an efficient team, and they get it done. I'm starting to come around more on her pick for them to win the division. The more I see how they play defensively, I'm just not that sold on Tua. Right, David, you were the only one who caught what I just said, and I will not repeat that. Now we go to Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. They lost a heartbreaker in overtime on Monday night. They go to Kansas City, so that's looking like 0-2. Does that make them done if they lose in Kansas City on Sunday night?
Nice.
Yeah, because it'll be a conference loss.
Stop it, Langston.
Their division is stacked. So if they lose this, it's going to be hard for them to start digging out.
I agree.
You agree? I agree on that as well. And the thing is, as much pain as Tennessee has been caused by the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs, historically, I'm all in favor of that. Put your hands on them, KC. Run them out of the building.
Don't get mad at the Ravens because that jersey behind you was scared to take that hit from Ray Lewis.
He did not. He did. Y'all, she almost made me cry when I got in the car. He did not. He ran him over 3 years later when Ray Lewis was almost out the league. Now, David says we'll be 0-2, but not done. He's still sold on Lamar Jackson. Mike, you just had to get your Tua diss in for the week. His obligatory. He hates Tua. All right, we got you on that. We got you. Last but certainly not least, and y'all be kind. Tennessee Titans got mud stomped last week by your boy Colter, who you should have thrown in the trash before last week's game. If you would have thrown him away instead of Trey Young, maybe we'd be 1-0. He looked completely unstoppable. I was so embarrassed and humiliated watching that game. We lose 38-13. Henry had 9 yards on 8 carries in the first half. Chandler Jones had 5 sacks by himself. like Madden type numbers. With all of that said, now we truck out to the 12th man in Seattle. It's gonna be a tough afternoon game in Seattle with full stadium. If the Titans go 0-2, are they done? Don't be nice. Say it with your chest.
Yeah.
He said they want me to move out of Dallas. I've been there, Jinx. I haven't been here 25 years, by the way, Langston.
No, it's more or less they need to get Jerry Jones to move around. As long as that's like with the Rangers with John Daniels. As long as
the only way to get rid of Jerry Jones is for him to ascend to that upper room, and y'all know it. And it was Grace. Yeah, Mike, I'll
Jesus.
bounce back. But if they do not bounce back and go 0-2, are they done, T Sizzle? Come on, Sasha. Come on. Denise, they done?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
No. Oh my God. He said if they're not done because 7-9 can win that division.
But that is true.
That is true.
That is true.
I think the deciding factor is going to be the Houston Texans, honestly, though.
You think Tyrod is going to clip a couple of people they're not supposed to be?
Yeah, I think Houston Texans is going to be the X factor for that division.
Yeah.
So basically, y'all saying, that we did. Now I got to take another sip of your coffee.
If they keep playing, the way they're playing, then they might be the deciding factor of that whole entire division.
Titans are having a tough time on defense. Look like SEC defense. Mike went to the Michigan-Washington game last week. He's still on a Big Ten high because our defense looked so great last week. Go Blue.
Go Blue.
In the SEC. We got to eat down there. And Langston says 7-10. Okay, gotcha. All right. Damn, Tennessee, y'all look bad. Cost me my fantasy game.
They did. I mean, when I got on Twitter, I think I sent you. I said, did the Titans know that the game started?
I don't think they showed up.
And I sent Paul this meme that showed David Henry doing all the workout with the chains on his neck. I said, and the thing was, they said he did all this to get 8 yards. Like doing all this off-season workout training.
Don't encourage her.
And you only got 8 yards.
Don't encourage her.
The thing about it is I have Julio and Derrick Henry, and they didn't do crap.
Tennessee will be an easy game for the 5th seed. Man, David, ain't you got to go to work?
Yeah, you're supposed to be at work.
I'm about to call your boss. Look, we asked you to chime in, and then I don't want to hear what you got to say. Y'all, they better slide help to Taylor Lewan. He got ran through like a... Shouts out to Jefferson Street. If you ever visit Nashville, you'll understand what he means by Jefferson Street. Shouts out to the whole city.
But you know one thing? At least he admitted that he got outplayed.
Did you like that, though? Do you want to see him? Did you like that?
I like the accountability. I do. I love that.
You taking responsibility that like it was all my fault. Hey, I got bulldozer.
I was like, when I read that, I was like, tell me something I don't know. By that time, I was wallowing in my own pain. You know how bad it is when you want to watch the Sunday night game and your team just got trounced and you know it's going to be up in the A clips?
Yes.
When they said what happened to the Titans? That was so embarrassing and humiliating. Wow. And David, we're going to have to get you to call out one Saturday so we can get you back on the show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to put them both in the crock pot. It's time for some hot picks to close the show. Now, T Sizzle, 2 weeks in a row, you've done some miraculous stuff. You called Georgia over Clemson. You called Oregon straight up. You didn't even want the points last week over Ohio, and you won it.
I'm a soothsayer.
We got to give her the crown. Now, let's start with your game, Mr. Saboma Sooner. And we're not going to ask who's going to win because we know y'all going to boat race Nebraska. My question is, after putting up 76 points last week, what do you do for an encore this week against Mr. Crouch and company? You scoring 80, 90? How many points y'all hanging today?
I say about 40. Yeah, I'd say about 40.
40.
Yeah, 40.
Yeah.
You see the smugness in that grin. You know he's holding back.
Suh is not running out of those tunnels to suit back up ever. Nebraska is done.
Nebraska's done. Now, wait a minute. Langston says want to bet. What are you saying? You saying you taking less than 40? I'm saying they score 65 points today because 2 reasons. One, it's because it's Nebraska and they want to remind them why they left the Big 12.
Right.
Number 2 is because they're sending a message to the SEC that we're not going to come in there begging and groveling for no porridge. We're coming in there to actually take some spots and win some games.
We know how to do it like in them Spurrier days.
You know,
right. And Florida used to run that score up.
They've been partying all week because I don't know if you guys know about the game of the century. The game of the century with Barry Switzer and Tom Osborne. So they all been partying up, doing the thing. We got big noon kickoff here. Sadly, I wouldn't be on the show because I would have been going to the game, but I didn't get the opportunity, so I'm gonna be watching it on TV at home.
Yeah, but you saw him score 76 points. That should last you a couple of seasons.
You got to put the hand points out.
It was Western Carolina. That's what they supposed to have been doing. Because after that Tulane game,
Oklahoma can't stop the Bordeaux Eagles. See, now you're going to have me hitting up the split screen because the Wolverines play at 11 o'clock as well. Now I got to watch this game because Langston's troll game is out of control. Shouts out to the Pearl Cone Firebirds, too, for an impressive victory last night. That's our high school. We would tell you the year we graduated, but then you'd be like,
Ma, Pa.
They was like, he was like, I was on the Golden Girls today with Blanche and. All right.
My question to Langston is, who is his team?
Okay, Langston. Mr. Langston, who is your team, Mr. Langston? And while we get to who his team, look, now he's laughing. Now, while we get to who his college team is, really he has a high school team and the Cowboys. So let's pray for him. We have a huge game tonight. We have a whiteout at Penn State. The 25th ranked Auburn Tigers come to town. Who are you taking? T Sizzle, you got Penn State at home, or do you got Auburn?
Anytime those Nittany Lions have a whiteout, they win.
That's true. They've done us in plenty times in the whiteout. And he's a Louisville fan, and they won last night, so we can't even troll him over UCF.
Yeah. Hashtag we are is gonna win.
Okay, all right. You got Penn State. Who you going with? You going with the SEC or you going with the Big Ten in this one, Brandon?
I'm going with Mr. James Franklin and company.
Mr. Franklin gets it done.
Yes.
As a side note, I believe Auburn is 0-5. Their last 5 games against Big Ten. Michigan Mike puts it in there. PSU gets it done. I can't wait to watch that one. That should be a good one. To the NFL on Sunday, we have the 1-0 Raiders visiting the 1-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are giving up 6.5 points. T Sizzle, you on the hot seat. Who you taking? The Steelers or the Raiders?
Pittsburgh. The Raiders are still, just win, baby. Those days are gone. Selling Wolf tickets. I think they won primarily because they was in that brand new, beautiful stadium and all the hype. Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Okay, Brandon.
I'm going with Pittsburgh. I'm not sold on John Gruden as a coach.
You're not sold on Chucky?
Never have been. No. Thank you.
I think he's just like that shiny new car that they're trying to sell, and like, it's John Gruden, but yeah, no.
And plus, they gave him all that money.
Yes.
Right, he got a lifetime contract. He got one of them Oprah deals. But see, the Raiders have a secret weapon. They got Marcus Mariota. All right. As we digress and move on.
That's one of those, bruh.
There's no more exotic smash football.
Mike is going to see that sold Mike. Mike is going with the Raiders. Okay.
Raiders.
All right. All right. Here, Big D, Langston. Dallas has a critical game to try to avoid going 0-2 as they go out to SoFi Stadium to take on the Chargers. In the 325 tilt, Chargers are a 3.5-point favorite. Who are you going with, T Sizzle?
I'm actually going to go with Dallas.
No, say it with your chest now. Don't try to sneak
I
and peek it out.
I don't like to say it because, as I say every time I talk about Dallas, the best product they put on the field is them their dancing girls.
Hey, the way that they be training, they train harder than the football players.
So I hate to say it, but I'm gonna go with Dallas.
Langston is still blaming me. He's saying they're gonna lose as long as I'm still here. I don't want to bear that. Technically, I'm in Dallas, and the stadium is in Arlington. So give me some. Look, although I work at Fishbowl in Arlington, so
right behind the Texas Rangers Stadium.
Right behind the Rangers Stadium. So wow. Mike says Cowboys winning another shootout. I'm going with them boys. Hold up. And who is Brandon going with?
I'm about to say the Cowboys because, I mean, I'm not a Cowboy fan. I called those key of the game. I just see Dallas being the better team in that matchup.
Does Dak continue his streak of 400 yards passing? Yay or nay from the gallery? That's a quick yes. I don't know what y'all thinking about.
I mean, you know, Amari Cooper, you know, he'll call out while you're working, you know, in any given Sunday. Right. Sitting outside eating his cheese sandwich, reading his paper. I mean, and the way Ezekiel is playing, not really running, getting yards. I mean, I don't see why he can't get it. I don't see why.
400. You can give me Nick Bosa. You can give me Derwin James. You can give me all of them. He's dropping 400 because he's going to have to because his whole defense is hurt. DeMarcus Lawrence has got a broken foot. Randy Gregory is out this week. Like, they don't have a pass rush. So the Chargers are going to march down the field, and so is Dak. I like what Mike said. It's going to be a shootout. I like the Cowboys in shootout. He says maybe 340. Nah, bro. I don't play against him in my fantasy leagues this week, so let's root for another 400. He put me out last week with that 400. We have to get sacks. Chargers have a balanced game. No sacks, we lose. Well,
hey,
there's no D-Law, bro. There's no Randy Gregory. The secondary has always been suspect. Just
always.
And then you don't got Mr. Collins on the O-line.
No.
And you don't have Mr. Collins because he wants to go Scarface.
Right.
Ashy hand.
That's the thing. Like, they can't stay consistent with the line anymore.
Say hello to my little friend.
But now everybody don't show up to work no more now.
And how do you do that and play football at the same time anyway, Lyle Collins? Let me move on from that real quick. In the Sunday night game, we have Baltimore at Kansas City. Lamar's 0-3 against Mahomes. Does he change that this week? Does he stay with a losing record against the Chiefs?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to because they're at home too, and I think Kansas City got all the kinks out last Sunday against Cleveland. That's my pick. I'm sticking with it.
And I normally don't chime in on these picks, but Baltimore is a more polished version of Cleveland with the style of play offensively, running the ball and doing the play action, and they have a much more dynamic quarterback. With that being said, with all of the problems Cleveland gave Kansas City last week, what does that do for your pick, Mr. Lewis?
I have to go with the Chiefs.
He was like, damn, you and your analysis.
And the reason I go with the Chiefs is all the injuries they didn't have Baltimore this season. Yeah. They don't have you can't keep relying on Lamar Jackson.
Right.
Because eventually he's gonna get hurt. And then who's gonna be your backup? Trace McSorley from Penn State?
Remember Trace McSorley from Penn State? This is him running down the field. In the whiteout game, he's about this tall.
So I mean, it's just those things. They brought in some good running backs, but most of the running backs they brought in are like pretty much done.
Exactly.
So all-stars, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just don't see them getting it done because you're risking it all when you have Lamar Jackson running the whole entire time.
When you base your offense solely on one thing, one person, you can't win.
Right.
Against a decent, bona fide Super Bowl winning team, even though their offensive line has always been crappy. But you know,
I think Baltimore is going to give them quite a scare, and I agree with Langston that backup running back was very serviceable. And I think that if you allow the running back that's been there to get his touches, and you just sprinkle in a Le'Veon or a Todd Gurley or whoever else they brought in, that you should still have enough to get the deal done. My thing is the wide receivers need to get some separation. The man is back there patting the ball for his life because the wide receivers can't get open. Come on, Hollywood Brown, Mr.
Yes.
Senior.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, and they got a great receiver room. They got a great, trust me, like a lot of those receivers are pretty good, but like you said, they can't get separation.
That's his name, T. Williams. You're absolutely correct. Good job by you.
Tyson Williams? Or Tyson Williams or something like that?
You know what? And he got me 15 points on my fantasy last week and led me to the W. So shouts out to him. And last but certainly not least, we have Tennessee at Seattle. Damn, it got quiet in the room. Hey, you ain't gonna hurt my feelings. Come on with it.
I'm going for the Fighting Sierras. What?
The Tennessee Titans were good to you, Tasha. They were good to you. You had carte blanche through the whole stadium for 2 years. Brandon.
Hey, I'm going to go Russell Wilson. I have him in 2 of my
y'all took a couple. I play against him this week, too, and this is just make it even worse. There's nothing worse than playing against a team that your team is playing, and their quarterback is lighting up your fantasy team, too, which is going to happen because if we couldn't do anything with Kyler Murray, Big Brother's coming this week. And the 12th man, they didn't have any fans in the stands last week. They have fans in the stands now. It's going to be super duper ugly. T Sizzle. With that being said, Bella, how you doing, Bella Blue?
Oh,
you got any parting shots?
It's Big Boy.
Oh, sorry, Big Boy. You got any parting shots?
Yes.
T Sizzle.
I do. One of the biggest and best, most proudest shout outs that I could ever give is to my sweet husband, who is officially retired. He celebrated his 55th birthday on Tuesday. So again, he is officially retired now after giving, babe, how much, 25, 30 years to police? How long? He's in 25 30 years of being a police officer, you know, working his beat to being the top trainer in the state of Tennessee for training all the police in the state of Tennessee. Towards the end, well, he says he got put to the glue factory. He became the police because he was in charge of making sure the bad police were getting their information. He investigated the bad police to make sure they, you know, got their time in front of the post commission. It's surprising. Yes, Sabian, give me Sabian. Send him ass. I know I'm out here reckless in these streets and reckless on this show, and I'm married to the police. The police. And your sister and you love to call him Black Lives Matter. He's also Blue Lives Matter.
Right. Now, Langston speaks for all of us when he says, congratulations, man. Wow, you made it to the promised land. We trying to get there, bro. Pray for us. Like, right. Now, for you just getting your career started, young buck. Brandon, you're going to be making a lot of noise, and you come visit us in that home.
I'm going to be here. So my home is going to be a little more comfortable, but I'm going to need you to bring a cup of Jell-O because I don't know if they have Jell-O here. Bring me my Jell-O and my stool softness.
Some May James and Jell-O.
And my stool softness.
Get my Titans games. Now, before we sign off, Brandon, make sure you let everybody know where they can find you on social media, where they can find your work that you do at the Dallas Express. Let the people know how to find you.
All right, you can find me on Twitter at BLewis2510.
Wait a minute, what is that?
B Lewis, B and my last name, 2510. That's Twitter.
Oh, on Tweezy, I gotta find you on Tweezy.
I know.
Yep. I'm trying to build my my followers up.
You doing your thing, bro. And that's B Lewis 25, right?
Yes, 2510.
2510, okay.
And then Facebook, of course. I'm tagged in the post, Brandon Lewis. Also,
thank you, Sasha.
Also, you can follow me the Dallas Express newspaper. You know, I'm on there. Also, I want to give out some shout outs. That's it. There you go.
Shout them out, bro. Shout them out. It's your time, your turn.
All right, my shout out to my sports friends. I want to give a shout out to DeJuan Lofton out of Fort Worth, who's a wide receiver, true freshman at Virginia Tech.
All right.
And also, I want to give a shout out to my boy Jaden Knowles, who went off last week. Weatherman Jay, look him up. He went off last week.
I saw him with the picture.
Yes, that's my boy out of Kennedale, Texas. He went off. He's a walk-on actually, and he got his shine. He scored 2 touchdowns and a total of 102 yards. So shout out to him today.
All right.
And also all the football players out there, the college players. You know, if it wasn't for them, the coaching staff and all that, we wouldn't have college football on Saturday. So.
Right, and make sure you send a shout out to JJ McCarthy and Blake Corum, because we about to watch them in T-minus 55 minutes on the Big Ten Network.
What's that? What's that IG again?
It's _B Lewis 2K14. Let me double check because I haven't changed it in forever. It should still be the same. So yes, _B Lewis 2K14.
Oh, do you?
And shouts out to Jeremiah for checking in. Shouts out to my man Duke, who I'll see a little bit later today, for checking in.
This is wait a minute. Tell me why your page private, bro. What you doing? What you doing, my young Padawan?
Hey, it's some weird people out there. You know what I mean?
Right. He's just trying to keep the poison and toxins out.
Well, I just sent you 2, so go ahead.
I got Michael and I got you, Tasha.
And I'm on the way. As soon as we log off of here, I'll be in there as well. So, shouts out to everyone, man. You did a phenomenal job again. You are welcome. There's a seat for you at the Extra Point anytime you want to come on. We want to wish your Boomer Sooners all the luck in the world. Make sure that you let us know when your next article is coming out so we can make sure that we share that on all of our platforms. And we're gonna rock it with a Go Blue. What does Oklahoma say? We say Go Blue in Michigan.
They say Boomer Sooner.
We'll say Boomer Sooner, like the shirt say. Boomer Sooner.
Like he'll say Boomer and I say Sooner, or vice versa.
Boomer
Sooner.
Now, Denise is gonna follow as well. Make sure you all check out May Jane's Coffee. I will tag that into the link that we send out a little bit later. And shouts out to everybody for checking in. He said what this face page is, Mike. You let him know how old we are.
Face page.
If that being the case, we bid you all to a great day of college and pro football tomorrow. And we will see y'all next week right here on the Extra Point Hail State.
Clanger.